Hello, this is Goku for the Sim 1, and I'm back this time to talk about a little bit of news. I don't usually talk about news, but this is something that I really like, a franchise that I like, and I think this is great news. Some might think this is bad news, but Disney has lost the rights to John Carter, and it's reversed back to Edgar Rice Burroughs Incorporated. And I think this is fantastic. Even though I liked the Disney movie, I think they mismanaged a lot of things. I think the movie was too expensive. And I also think that the marketing was horrific. And this is going to be a semi-pitch video. I'm going to talk about a few things. One of these does come from AMC Movie Talk. I just saw it. And I was planning on doing this video anyways, but one of them mentioned something that I thought was a brilliant idea. And I'm going to talk about it here in a minute. But let's talk about this. Andrew Stanton directed this movie. And I'm sorry to say that Andrew Stanton should not have directed the movie, because Andrew Stanton does not understand live action yet. This was too big of a film. He was trying to do the animated route, and it blew up in his face, and he had this bomb. It's not his fault. It's whoever allowed him to do this movie, and that's a bad thing. You need to put people on that are capable of doing what they're supposed to be doing, and Andrew Stanton was not capable of doing this, doing a high-budget film. This inspired Superman, and it indirectly inspired Star Wars, because that's one of the misconceptions. It didn't actually inspire Star Wars. It inspired Flash Gordon, which Star Wars was inspired by Flash Gordon, so it's the grandfather of Star Wars. But it's still things like that, and Avatar, of course. And this is a very important piece of science fiction, and it's it's space opera at its best. And it's just a great story, I think, and there's great things to do. And the Dynamite comic I highly recommend. A lot of people say it's a little too scantily, but that's how the book was actually written. I've listened to the book. I know what's in the book, and everybody is half naked. This movie actually had too much clothes on them, even though they weren't very clothed in the movie. And that goes into a couple of things I think they should do in the future. The Dynamite comic calls this Warlords of Mars, and I think that's a much better title. I think you should get rid of John Carter. You should call it Warlords of Mars. And because John Carter didn't even have Mars on it, maybe people won't even know it's that, and maybe people can go into it fresh. I think it should be a much lower budget thing. I was always thinking animation, but television might be where it is. An HBO or a Showtime show could be fantastic, and that's what I'm getting from AMC Movie Talk, is that concept, it might be where it should go and what it should be, because I think it could flourish as a show like that. And you could have the nudity and all that stuff that's actually in the stuff. Now, when I say nudity, I mean they're basically wearing no clothes whatsoever. They have like a little bit of clothing on, but I'd rather them be wearing what they actually wear in it, and that would probably make this rated R. I think also be a little bit closer to the books. The one thing the movies did better than the books is that Deja Thoris was a damsel in distress in the books, and in this she's capable, but don't make her as capable as John Carter. John Carter is a superhero in this world. He can do things that nobody else can do. He can fight gigantic monsters because he literally does have powers compared to them, because he grew up on Earth, and to them, he does have these capabilities that normal humans should not have. And that's why he can fight aliens and whatnot, because, and when I say aliens, everybody on this planet is technically an alien, but the red Martians are us, and so I don't consider them aliens. They should not be able to fight John Carter in any conceivable way, and that's just how it is. Also, there's a lot of characters that were never introduced because they never ended up getting to them, and I would love them to get to them. I think this is a fantastic story. I think a lot of people saying it ripped off everything. Well, it didn't rip off anything. It was the progenitor of all that stuff. That stuff wouldn't exist if it wasn't for it. So I'm happy about this news. They say that they want to make another something. Hopefully they get something in production soon. Hopefully by 2017 there's something in production. This is fantastic. Too bad they won't have the 100-year thing that they could do advertisement, but this is still great news. And I'm ecstatic. I'd like to know what you think. Leave it in the comments. This is Goku for the Sim 1, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.